Very good morning, class. This is some extra edge topics that is out of your NCRT, but very important topic which will be asked in your NEET and JEE mains exam. Okay, so let's do it in very quick way, and we will understand the concept behind that. The things, two three things I have mentioned in this topic. So let's start with this. The first thing we will do that naming of bridging compound. What is this bridging compound? You might have seen some compounds like this. Yes. So how you will name it? For their naming, these compounds which are like common between this metal as well as this metal. This is also common between this metal as well as this metal. So this will be called bridge elements, bridge ligands, and that will be named as mu with the mu prefix. Okay. This mu prefix we will use. So there is nothing to worry about that. The same way, just only this ligand will be named with the mu prefix. Okay, so how you will name it? This is en whole twice. That means ethane 1,2-diamine or ethylene diamine. You can say that this is 2 in number. So we know that it is bidentate ligand, and hence we will use bis. For 2, we will use bis, isn't it? So we'll say that bis ethane 1,2-diamine. This is cobalt. Cobalt, as I told you, that oxidation number is always 3. Don't be confused in that. Okay. Otherwise, we will find it also. But in general, cobalt is 3. Okay. So what we will write? As it is written, we will go accordingly. Okay. We will not follow the other way. Just say name of number of ligands, name of ligand, metal, and then the same way it is. But since two time the metals are there, 2 times this ligands are there, so how to do? So what you will do? Start with this number of ligand, that is 2. That for this it will be bis. En will be ethylene diamine, and then cobalt. Yes, so cobalt oxidation number we will write in the bracket, and that is always 3. How it is we will do. Now you have to name this bridge element and this bridge element. So this NH2 is called amido. Okay, NH2 is amido. So since it is bridge, so that's why we will use the mu prefix over here. So mu amido. And then another bridge element, mu hydroxo. Here in this bridge element, we will follow the alphabetical way. So it is amido and this is hydroxo. So first it will be mu amido and then mu hydroxo, and then again wapas we will do that again. We'll use bis ethane 1,2-diamine, cobalt 3, and then bracket close, give the gap over there, and this is sulfate. Okay, so let's do it. Bis ethane 1,2-diamine. Here there will be no gap. Okay, it is by mistake. 1,2-diamine. That should be here. It is bracket should be there. Then cobalt 3, and then mu amido, mu hydroxo, and then वापस से फिर हम इसका करेंगे bis ethane 1,2-diamine, cobalt 3, and this is sulfate. Yes, I hope there is no problem in this. You can find it. NH2 is neutral ligand over here. So in this case, it is SO4 minus 2 into 2. That will be minus 4, isn't it? And then, or we can do that here. It will be, since it is SO4 minus 2, so that means it will have plus 4 charge. So we can write in the complex form. Okay, this is SO4 minus 2. 2 SO4 are there. So we can write over here plus 4, isn't it? Now, they're the two metals. So we will assume that 2x, this one is minus 1. This one is also minus 1. So we can say that 2x is equal to plus 6. So x will be equal to plus 3. The cobalt oxidation number will be 3. I hope it is clear. Now the another compound is like this. NH3 whole 4 over here, then CONH. So this will be how you will name it. Again, the same way, tetraamine. This will be called amine, tetraamine, and then cobalt. Cobalt is always plus 3. Then mu. Now this is NH2 amido, and this is NH. It will be imido. There is a difference between this. NH2 will be amido. And NH, the name of this compound is, this part is imido. Okay, so this is tetraamine cobalt 3, then mu imido, mu nitro here, then again tetraamine cobalt 3, and this is, since no counter and over here, it is like a positive cationic complex, so we will write simply ion over here. Got it? I think there is no issue in that. Same hai, exactly same hai. Just you have to see that when two metals will be there in the ligand and the both metals will be attached with the same like ligand as a bridge form. So it is bridge element and you have to name this compound with the mu prefix. That's it. Okay. Now the next thing is EAN rule. It is also very important to find the number of ligands actually. How many ligands will be there, that we can calculate by EN rule. Effective atomic number. The full form of EN is effective atomic number, and that the formula is Z minus oxidation number plus 2 into coordination number. ON is oxidation number and CN is coordination number. Z is equal to atomic number, that we know that. Yes. EN rule says that complexes following EN rule have EN of a EAN of a central metal atom ion equal to nearest inert gas configuration. Nearest inert gas configuration के पास होना चाहिए. Like if I am talking about cobalt or Fe or Ni, the nearest like inert gas is what? Krypton 36. तो EAN जो होगा that will always be equal to 36 for these elements. D block जितने भी हम फर्स्ट सीरीज की बात करते हैं 3D सीरीज की, तो सबके लिए क्या हो जाएगा? The nearest one is not scandium and not for the other one, that manganese above. Okay, so for them it will be what? Krypton. Okay. Application of EAN rule. With the help of EAN rule, number of ligands attached to any metal in its organometallic. Organometallic I have already explained you. That's you metal bonding should be there. Compound can easily calculated. Like देखते हैं एक example. So nickel carbonyl. Nickel carbonyl. How many carbonyl group will be there as a ligand, that we have to decide. So nickel atomic number is 28 and the nearest one is 36. So just subtract this 36 minus 28. The total is 8. Yes. Total number of ligands should be 8. But we know that each ligand contribute 2 electrons. So number of ligands will be total 8 upon 2 kar doge, you will get the number of ligands, and that means the formula of nickel carbonyl is NiCO4. Yes. Similarly, you can find for Fe, like FeCO5, Fe is atomic number is 26. So nearest one will be 36 divided 36 minus 26, it will be 10. 10 divided by 2, what it will be? 5. FeCO5, isn't it? The number of ligand you can easily find by this compound, by this formula, and you can say that Fe carbonyl, iron carbonyl will have the formula FeCO5. Okay. So now move to next slide, and that is about pi complexes. What are these pi complexes? Although I have given you a small introduction in organometallic compound, here I'm going to give you in detail. Okay. So some pi complexes in organometallic compound involve pi bonds, actually not use over here, involve pi bonds between metal and carbon. The number of carbon atom is indicated by eta power x by one ligand. Okay, so how many pi bond is going to what is the number of carbon bond and there will be pi bond between the metal and the carbon. So how many carbon is going to share the electrons, their pi electrons for the to the metal, that we will understand by n eta power x. Okay, let me show you some example like this. This is G salt. Okay, in this case there are the two carbon which are involving in their coordination bond in like making this, they are what we say, they are using this pi bond to like make a bond with the platinum. Yes, so that's why it is mentioned as eta power 2. There are the two carbons, so that's why eta power 2. That is G salt. Okay, so sometime it will be asked in that what will be the number of carbon in which for this the pi electrons, the pi bonds are involved. So in the G salt. So accordingly you have answer. Next is ferrocene. So there are the 5 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon. So 5 carbon we will mention eta power 5. This is C2H5. 1 Fe is like this and this. Here it is 2. We have mentioned is as a 2. That means 5 carbon by 1 this compound. Okay. In this dibenzene chromium, we can see that 6 carbon are there. So that will be eta power 6 and this whole 2 we will say. So sometime in the MCQ, this question can be asked that in the G salt, what will be the number of pi bonds between the metal and carbon represent in terms of eta. Okay, so like this. So here sigma bond complexes, though whatever the organometallic compound जो हमने बनाया था, simple organometallic compound, that is using only sigma bond. Okay. And pi complexes, right now we have done few examples, and if both the sigma and pi bonded complexes, that is in the carbonyl, that the sigma as well as pi bond involved in these compounds. Okay. So that is all about the pi complexes. Now the next thing is John Taylor effect. This is very like important for the net getter and CSIR exam. Even for the JEE mains also, it has been asked. The 2-3 questions that has been asked. So you should understand this thing what it is. So see, this is John Taylor effect will only work in case of octahedral. Okay. So if we talk about octahedral, then all the 6 bond that this is the square planar. Yes, this one is the square planar. And this one is one pyramid above the plane. This is another pyramid below the plane. So all the bond length in this octahedral are same. They become same. They are same. Okay. But somehow, if we consider somehow कोई reason हो जाता है, that reason we will do later on. So in that case, this square planar वाले जितने 4 bond है, they will remain same, but the pyramidal bond, the axial bond, will be either compressed than the original one, or will be elongated than the previous one. So that is called John Taylor effect. So this two, ये डिस्टॉर्शन भी कहलाता है. तो जॉन टेलर डिस्टॉर्शन भी कहलाता है और जॉन टेलर इफेक्ट भी कहते हैं. ठीक है. दिस विल गिव यू द टेट्रागोनल शेप. ये दोनों जब ऑक्टाहेड्रल ये रहा और जब अगर वो सेम डिफरेंट हो जाता है दैट एंगल बॉन्ड लेंथ सॉरी, so it will be considered as tetragonal. So this is also tetragonal, and in this the compressed हो जाता है, z angle जो हो जाता है वो अंदर की तरफ आ जाता है. That's why we say z in. And in this case the z axis becomes elongated, so that's why it is known as z out. Okay, let me explain with this coordinate. There are the 3 coordinates x, y, z. So all that bond angle are with this coordinate. पूरे ये a coordinate x पे minus x equal y minus y equals z minus y. So this is normal octahedral. Okay, this is normal octahedral. But in any way, if what happened that electrons अगर density यहाँ पे क्या है, overall density जो होती है वो सब equal है. All is equal. In all axes it is equal. ठीक है. But somehow if the electron density gets increased on the z axis, okay, so what will happen due to the electronic repulsion, that this z axis will be elongated. Yes, ये z axis क्या हो जाते हैं, elongate हो जाते हैं, and that will give you the result in z out. ये z out कहलाता है. ठीक है. Another case, it can be like if the electron density is higher on x axis and y axis. ये x axis और y axis पे अगर ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, so what will happen, this will be यहाँ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिपल्शन होगा, एंड विद कंपेरिजन टू अगर हम इसकी बात करें तो ये थोड़ा सा इलोंगेट हो जाएगा, बट z axis will be there, since there is no electronic repulsion, so it will be little compressed. ये छोटा लगेगा with respect to this x and y, isn't it? समझ में आई बात क्या हुआ? In this case, the electron density is distributed overall, okay, symmetrically distributed. So that's why it will be called octahedral. In this case, if that z axis, along the z axis अगर electron density काफी ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है, तो what will happen due to the electronic repulsion, that z axis will get elongated, and that will result in the z out form. Okay. Now, if in another way, अगर x और y axis पे electron density increase करेगी, so what will happen with respect to this x z, the x y will be little elongated and z will be compressed, isn't it? So z यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा, छोटा हो जाता है, and that's why it is called z in. I hope it is clear. Is there any problem? Okay. So this is the John Taylor effect. ये explanation है John Taylor effect. क्या होता है, that I have explained. How the question will be asked and some more topics are there. So let me explain this. In this case, I just want to show you that this is degenerate orbital. Okay. What will happen? It undergoes splitting, and octahedral में क्या हो जाता है, Eg ऊपर होता है. Yes, Eg will have the high energy and T2G will have the low energy. There is no problem at all. Clear? So this is the normal octahedral splitting. Okay. बट इफ वी टॉक अबाउट दैट, अगर यहाँ पे हम लाइक स्ट्रॉन्ग फील्ड की बात करते हैं या ऑक्टाहेड्रल में अगर हम जॉन टेलर इफेक्ट की बात करते हैं, तो व्हाट विल हैपन in this case, this EG will also split into two parts. Like, let me show you. Here it is. I have mentioned that this is EG and this is T2G. Okay, so this EG will further split. ये two further split हो जाएगा. Similarly, T2G it will also split. अब now you have to decide कि किसकी एनर्जी लेवल कम होगी और किसकी एनर्जी लेवल ज्यादा होगी. So see, in this way, ये मैंने आपको समझाया यहाँ पे. ठीक है, इस केस में अगर Z आउट के केस में अगर हम बात करते हैं, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट Z आउट, तो Z आउट में क्या हो गया, इलेक्ट्रॉन डेंसिटी हाई हो गई है, isn't it? यस. सो इसकी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एनर्जी यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगी, दिस Z इसकी ज्यादा हो जाएगी. सो जब स्प्लिटिंग होगा तो जहां Z एक्सिस है, जिस लाइक d ऑर्बिटल we have d orbital. So in this the three are dxy, this is dxy. Okay, so in this is the d orbital degenerate, and if there is normal octahedral splitting, then these three will be together and these two will be together. Yes. If there is the like अगर हम further strong distortion की बात करते हैं because of this Z in और Z out की वजह से, तो Z in में Z out में क्या होगा, that Z axis has more electron density. So EG में हमारे ये दो आएंगे dx square और dx square y square and dz square, isn't it? तो इन दोनों में EG में जिसमें Z एक्सिस इन्वॉल्व होगा उसकी एनर्जी और हाई हो जाएगी, तो दैट विल गो अप एंड द रेस्ट वन जो बच गया dx square y square उसकी एनर्जी कम होगी. सो इट विल रिमेन लाइक दिस. ठीक है. सिमिलरली T2G में हमारे पास 3 है, तो Z एक्सिस के लॉन्ग जो है वो क्या हो गया, एनर्जी बढ़ गई है. ठीक है. सो व्हाट विल हैपन, दिस जहां Z एक्सिस जहां भी यूज होगा इसमें उसकी एनर्जी बढ़ जाएगी, तो dxz एंड dyz की हाई एनर्जी होगी while the dxy की एनर्जी कम होगी. गॉट इट. सो दिस इज स्ट्रॉन्ग डिस्टॉर्शन, दैट मींस ये आ गया केस Z आउट का केस. ओके, एंड Z in के केस में दैट विल बी एग्जैक्टली अपोजिट. Z in के केस में ये क्या हो जाएगा, एग्जैक्टली अपोजिट, जो ऊपर था वो यहाँ पे नीचे आ जाएगा, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड वीक डिस्टॉर्शन, while Z out will be considered as strong distortion. ठीक है, समझ में आई बात? Any doubt in this? चलिए, now next other things are there. How to find and what is the application where we will use this and how the question will be solved from this John Taylor effect. The shape of transition metal complexes, that is octahedral complexes, are affected when d orbitals are asymmetrical filled. Asymmetrical filled होना चाहिए. Okay. क्या है? Let me explain you. If the d electrons are symmetrically arranged, they will repel all the 6 ligands equally and structure will be regular octahedron. So in this case, अगर d electrons are symmetrical, then there will be no John Taylor effect. ठीक है. John Taylor effect होने के लिए there must be what? Asymmetry. और asymmetry के लिए मैं क्या है, फिर से मैं एक बार आपको explain कर दूं यहाँ पे. If we are talking about asymmetry, like this, okay, so asymmetrical field होना चाहिए. Suppose that this is D1, अगर सिर्फ एक इलेक्ट्रॉन इसमें filled है, so is it asymmetrical? Yes. So D1 is asymmetrical. Okay, 2 electron if I will do, this is also asymmetric. Yes, D2. If I will put this D3, will it be called asymmetry? D3. Actually, basically आप कैसे समझोगे, यहां से समझ लो कि if it is half filled, if it is full filled, and if it is combination of half filled and full filled, then it will not show any John Taylor effect. ठीक है, समझ में आई बात? क्या बताया मैंने? If it is half filled, full filled, or combination of half filled and full filled, या combination of half filled and half filled, then it will not show John Taylor effect. Clear? अब देखो यहाँ पे. So this is 3, although this 3, तो asymmetric, it seems asymmetry, but it is half filled case. T2G तो 3 स्टेबल हो गया ना बेटा, T2G स्टेबिलिटी आ गई इनकी, T2G 3 हाफ फिल्ड ऑर्बिटल फिल्ड. यस, सो दिस विल नॉट शो, यानी कि D3 जो होगा वो जॉन टेलर इफेक्ट नहीं शो करेगा. D3 विल नॉट शो. क्लियर? चलिए नेक्स्ट, अगर D4, तो D4 के लिए ऑप्शन क्या है, एक यहाँ पे भी है, यहाँ पे भी आ सकता है D4, isn't it? इन केस ऑफ अगर स्ट्रॉन्ग लिगेंड है तो D4 यहाँ पे भी आ सकता है. तो इन दैट केस ऑल्सो इट इज इन अनसिमेट्रिकल, सो हम D4 यहाँ पे ले सकते हैं. और अगर वीक फील्ड हुआ तो D4 यहाँ पे आएगा, isn't it? Let me use another color. अगर वीक लिगेंड होगा तो D4 यहाँ आ जाएगा. It will not go back for pairing, isn't it? So in both the case, either it is strong ligand or it is weak ligand. In both the case, it will show unsymmetry, yes, and that's why it will show the John-Taylor effect. Clear? Now, if D5 we go, D5 that means हम assume करते हैं that it is, let me use this first यहाँ पे, okay. D5 if we are using, so what will happen? 3 this and 1 this and 1 this. So this is again what? Half filled. This is also half filled. This is also half filled. So D5 में भी क्या होगी? Symmetry आ गई, यानी कि D5 भी नहीं देगा. D5 will also not give what? John-Taylor effect, not show. Okay. Now D6. अगर हम D6 करते हैं यहाँ पे, so what will happen? D6 is again that जब हम D6 यहाँ पे करेंगे तो it will show the back bonding and it will completely fill the electron. ये filled हो जाएगा. So this will completely fill. ये पूरा fill हो जाएगा और ये D0 भी हो सकता है, we can say. तो in that case, और अगर suppose that या तो हम इसको fill कर दें D6 के लिए, तो ये unsymmetric, but ये this is complete. This is in half filled. तो हाफ फिल्ड अगर है वहां पे केस कॉम्बिनेशन में भी है तो इट विल नॉट शो, यानी D6 भी नहीं शो करेगा. क्लियर? इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट D7, तो D7 तो हर हाल में जब भी जाएगा, अगर D7 हम देखेंगे तो वो यहीं पे आएगा इलेक्ट्रॉन, EG इलेक्ट्रॉन, वो हमेशा अनसिमेट्रिकल होगा ही, isn't it? ये इस केस में आ जाएगा, ये केस हो जाएगा अनसिमेट्रिकल का. सो D7 विल शो ज्योमेट्रिक जॉन टेलर इफेक्ट. ठीक है, वो हमेशा EG में यहाँ आएगा और ये अनसिमेट्री शो करेगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई D7 विल बी देयर. सिमिलरली D8 अगेन अगर हम डालेंगे तो D8 जो हो गया वो सिमेट्री आ जाएगी, तो दैट विल नॉट शो. ये कंप्लीटली 6 और ये 2, इट विल नॉट शो. ठीक है. D9 करेंगे तो अगेन आ जाएगा यहाँ पे अनसिमेट्री एंड दैट्स व्हाई D9 विल शो. अगेन D10 करेंगे तो दिस विल बी फुलफिल, दिस विल आल्सो बी फुलफिल एंड D10 विल आल्सो नॉट शो. सो जस्ट लर्न अ नंबर. एक नंबर याद कर जाओ जो आपको बताएगा कि यहाँ पे क्या होता है, जॉन टेलर इफेक्ट शो होगा. इफ इट इज D1, D2, D4, D7, D9, यानी कि 1 2 4 7 9, 1 2 4 7 9, if it is, it will show John Taylor effect, otherwise it will not show. Clear? Any issue in that? So ये चीज आपको याद रखना है कि कहाँ जॉन टेलर शो करेगा. ठीक है. नाउ सिमेट्रिकल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक अरेंजमेंट D0, D10, अगर हम कोई इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं है इसमें, फुलफिल्ड है, तो चाहे मर्जी वॉट एवर द लिगेंड इट इज स्ट्रॉन्ग लिगेंड, वीक लिगेंड, कुछ भी हो, इट विल नॉट शो जॉन टेलर इफेक्ट. ठीक है. D6 अगर हम करते हैं विद स्ट्रॉन्ग लिगेंड, अगर स्ट्रॉन्ग लिगेंड आ गया दैट मीन्स इट विल बी फुलफिल्ड, तो अगेन इट विल नॉट शो एनी जॉन टेलर बिकॉज इफ सिमेट्री आ गई. D5 एंड D6 विद द वीक लिगेंड इट विल नॉट शो, क्योंकि अगर हम यहाँ पे करते हैं तो दिस इज 3 5 और ये 2 आ जाएगा, तो यहाँ पे भी फिर से सिमेट्री आ जाएगी, हाफ फील्ड का कॉम्बिनेशन आ जाएगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट विल नॉट शो. सो इफ like this way also you can learn, or this way also you can learn. D0, D10 कभी भी whatever the ligand is there it will not show. D6 अगर strong ligand है चाहे weak ligand है, दोनों में ही नहीं शो करेगा. D5 weak ligand में भी शो नहीं करेगा. ठीक है. तो जॉन टेलर इफेक्ट it will not show. Now, if the d electrons are asymmetrically arranged, they will repel some ligands in the complex more than other, and that's why the structure is distorted. क्यों डिस्टॉर्ट हो जाता है उसका रीजन मैंने आपको पहले भी समझा दिया, एंड हियर आई हैव रिटन एज अ पॉइंट, बिकॉज सम लिगेंड्स आर प्रिवेंटेड फ्रॉम अप्रोचिंग द मेटल एज क्लोजली एज अदर्स. ओके. सो दैट्स व्हाई शेप अलग हो जाता है, एसिमेट्री आ जाती है एंड डिस्टॉर्शन आ जाता है. Asymmetrical electronic configuration D4 with the weak field, D7 with the strong ligand field, and D9 with any ligand, all these show John Taylor effect always. ये हमेशा शो करते हैं. D4, D7, D9. D4 weak ligand के साथ, D7 strong ligand के साथ, D9 किसी भी ligand के साथ अगर हम बात करते हैं, it will show John Taylor effect. I hope it is clear, the John Taylor effect. Now another topic which is again going to be a very important topic, that is trans effect. What is this trans effect? The trans effect is defined as the labilization, making more reactive of ligand trans to certain other ligand which can thus be regarded as trans directing ligand. अब ये क्या है trans directing ligand क्या है मैं आपको समझाती हूँ, just wait. We can better understand trans effect by following illustration. So this is the thing. We have a square planar structure. Okay, in this y compound y group is going to attach, and that y is going to replace the x. There are the three ligands L1, L2, X and T. Four ligands are there L1, L2, X and T. So यहाँ पे मैंने T को क्या किया है, T को assume किया that this is trans directing. Okay, so what it will do, ये जो trans directing अगर ligand वहाँ पे होता है तो जो भी group attach होना होता है, मतलब the one which is going to substitute the previous one, the previous ligand is going to attach on its what trans position. So let's see the final product. आप देखो, this one is the trans directing ligand and the Y is going to attach at the trans position of it. समझ में आई बात? This L1 L2 will not change. तो अब ये trans directing क्या होता है, ये इसको एक आपको there is a mechanism for that and there is a series for that you have to learn for. Ligand T in this illustration can dramatically increases the reaction rate and induces the departure of X. The extent to which a ligand affects the bond trans to itself in a complex is termed as trans effect. कैसे होगा? The Y is going to attach here and then again this will give you the trans, like this X will change its position. Okay, and afterwards this X will be little it will क्या कहते हैं उसको, like leave the position or X बाहर आ जाएगा. So this is धीरे धीरे the mechanism I have shown over here, how slowly it reacts and how the particular way it reacts, that is. So out of that अब यहाँ पे L1 L2, अगर L1 का ट्रांस इफेक्ट ज्यादा होता तो वो L के रेस्पेक्ट में आ जाता. मैंने यहाँ पे T एज अ ग्रुप लिया है जिसका ट्रांस इफेक्ट ज्यादा है, इसलिए T के रेस्पेक्ट में ही अटैच किया गया है. ठीक है, अभी ट्रांस इफेक्ट आपको कैसे याद करना पड़ेगा, देयर इज अ बहुत सारे देयर इज अ पोम एंड देयर इज अ लाइक बनाया हुआ दे हैव डन, so you can use this. Okay, so here is the series, that is trans effect showing series, and that you have to learn. ये आपको याद करना होगा. ठीक है, you can make some like some poem, कुछ भी आप बना सकते हो and किसी भी फॉर्म में you can learn that. Okay, so this is NOCOCN minus C2H4. They have almost same trans effect. Next PR3H minus have the same one, then methyl, then phenyl, then NO2 minus, then ISCN minus, Br minus, Cl minus, Py, and then NH3OH H2O, they will have the same one. ठीक है, so that you have to learn. ये जो most common मतलब in general जो पूछा जाता है वो this is NH3Cl, NO2 यूज किया जाता है, H यूज किया जाता है and Cn यूज किया जाता है. So they are the most commonly used. Okay, but others are also there, they can ask question based on that. So let's do another one questions we will do. The trans effect can dictate the product from the substitution reaction. कौन सा product बनेगा? Suppose that the question will be given like this, ये question नहीं होगा और इस पे NH3 का reaction करा रहा है, आपको decide करना होगा कि excess of ammonia reaction ये कर रहे हैं, so what product will be formed? One question is this, another question is this. ठीक है, so you have to decide that. अब यहाँ देखो, this is PTCl4 and NH3 is going to react on that. So अभी तो all the four bonds are same, so आप किसी पे भी attach कर दो. Yes, I have attached, यहाँ remove करके यहाँ NH3 attach. Next अगर दूसरा अमोनिया यहाँ पे हम करेंगे तो what will happen? This Cl जो होता है that is having more trans effect. Let me show you with this previous one. The Cl minus is having more effect than the ammonia, isn't it? So that's why in this case, what will happen? This NH3 will not show the trans effect showing group. Rather, this chlorine will show. So this, yes, chlorine को हम नहीं कर सकते because already ammonia is attached at its position. So this cannot be substituted now. Okay. So chlorine will, another chlorine we can take either this or you can take this. So with this chlorine respect में जो भी trans effect होगा, transposition होगा, there will ammonia will be attached and it is going to form cisplatin. ये platin and that is cis. This is ammonia LCl on the same side, so that's why cis we say. Okay. Another, let's see this an example. This is tetra ammonia platinum. So now chlorine is going to attack on that. So what will happen? The chlorine, right now all the four position are, all the four ligands are same, so anywhere it is attached, chlorine attached. Okay, now ammonia and chlorine is there, so chlorine is better trans effect showing group than the ammonia. So what will happen, this chlorine will decide, अब इस chlorine के trans में जो group होगा, that will be substituted by the next chlorine, so it will form trans isomer. Did you get that? This, when it will form cis and when it will form trans. अगर platinum tetrachloroplatinum पे ammonia react कर रहा है, तो it is going to form cisplatin. While if it is tetraamine ammonia पे react करने जा रहा है, tetraamine platinum पे react करेगा chlorine axis, then it will form the trans product. It is not like we can say that platinum this also. So this will be trans platin. Okay, got it? I hope it is clear. So this is called trans effect showing group. Okay, that's it about the like topic. We are done with this extra topic also, and I hope whatever I have explained, that is clear to you. Okay, so just watch the video properly, make short notes. It will help you in your exams that NEET, JEE mains, all that. And this type of questions has been asked twice in JEE mains and once at NEET also, and very commonly asked in GATE and NEET, GATE and like CSIR exam. Okay, so we'll meet in next video with the next topic, and that will be our last chapter. So till then, thank you class. Enjoy your studies.